Welcome. You're listening to the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, creatively engineered by Nicole, the inspiration specialist. I'm Wired to Inspire is a powerfully packed 5-minute podcast filled with inspiration and encouragement to get you through your day. It's designed to inspire you to live your authentic purpose. Now stay tuned for your host, Nicole, the inspiration specialist, on today's episode of I'm Wired to Inspire.
You're listening to the Black Excellence Expose with Nicole, the inspiration specialist. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Black Excellence Expose, and I highlight 3 dope human beings of color on every episode. So I'm going to jump right in, guys. First person we're going to talk about today is Miss Gladys West. From cell phones to cars and even social media, most folks in this day and age are familiar with the Geographical Positioning System, or GPS. Little known is the fact that an African-American woman mathematician was a part of the original team of engineers tasked with developing the highly useful system. Gladys West played a pivotal role in creating the now household technology. West, who is currently 87, enjoyed a 42-year career as a mathematician at the Naval Support Facility in Dahlgren, Virginia. This is where she and fellow engineers saw the early beginnings of the popular tracking system. She was just one of 4 Black Americans employed at the naval base when she first started in 1956. Her calculations eventually led to satellites. Wow. Literally had no idea a Black woman had anything to do with a GPS system. Again, the more you know. Every day I'm finding out something incredibly dope and different that I absolutely knew nothing about. So guys, every time I introduce somebody to you, I ask you 3 different questions. Every day it'll be 3 questions, and it's the same questions. We want consistency. We want it to sink in. So the first thing I want to ask you is this: how can you fulfill a need? Is there something around you? Is there something that you see needs some help or assistance? And you may think it's not your field. You may think you have nothing to do with it, but perhaps God could be leading you to maybe create something that can fulfill that need, that can help someone who needs it. You know, we want to be solution-based people. We want to, if we see a problem, we don't want to be the people sitting on the stoop talking about the problem. We want to be the ones that say, okay, you know what? We need to figure out a solution to this. If it's not your wheelhouse, if it's not your thing to work on that particular thing, then maybe you can direct it to someone else. But you want to make sure that if you are led or something tugging your spirit to maybe see about it, you want to see about it. Because you never know what you can do. And y'all, I just want to say this little 1 footnote. The way the climate is right now, everybody jumping on bandwagons for the different, things that's popping up and all these kind of things that's going on. Listen to me. Just be careful with that. And the reason why I say that is this, not for no reason other than whatever you believe and whatever it is that you're walking in, you have to walk that out, whether somebody else agrees with you or not. And many times people will try to hold you accountable to do something, and God might not be telling you to do that. And I know some people are not going to like that, and that's fine. You don't have to like it. But the truth of the matter is everybody not called to fix the same problem. And that's just what it is. So over 7 billion people in the world, everybody is not called. Everybody's not going to protest. Everybody is not going to sit back and watch. There are some people, they have that, God put that in them. They incite change. They go out into the field. There are other people, they spend their money. They let their money talk for them. They add value. They pay for the things that the movement needs, whatever that movement may be at the time. But they do what they feel they have to do. So don't feel suckered or bullied into any of that stuff, because if you really believe in what you believe, and like I say, y'all, past color lines or any of that, just trust in God, man. We can't help that the world is about racism and all of this. But you know what we got? We got the Lord, man. And he made everybody. So that's why I say no matter what comes at you, make sure you run it through him first. Make sure you have an understanding of what it is that God is telling you to do. Because that's going to look different. That may look completely different than what somebody else might be called to do. And you don't want to get caught up in that shuffle. Be authentic with what you have, because somebody not going to like you regardless. Somebody going to say you're doing the wrong thing. Somebody going to say you're not doing what God wants you to do. Somebody going to say you're doing too much. Somebody's going to say you're not doing enough. So the point is, out of everything I just said, I said somebody going to say. That's the common denominator. So now you got to figure out what you are in a situation. Somebody's always going to have something to say, but what are you going to do? Because what they say should not be contingent upon your passion and your purpose and the thing that the Lord tells you specifically to do. That should not have any bearing on that. You should walk that out and work that out with him, because that's going to look the way it needs to look for you. So right now, guys, I want to tell you about Deborah Janine Thomas, but she is better known as Debbie Thomas. She was born March 25th, 1967, and she is an American former figure skater and physician. She is the 1986 world champion, the 1988 Olympic bronze medalist, and a two-time U.S. national champion. Her rivalry with East Germany's Katrina Witt at the 1988 Calgary Olympics was known as the Battle of the Carmens. She was the first African-American woman to win singles at the United States National Figure Skating Championships, all while being a pre-med student at Stanford University. Shout out to Black Girl Glory. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Debbie Thomas. And again, y'all, whenever I tell you guys about anybody, make sure you Google them, or find some books on them, but, continue the conversation. I just give you a little tidbit to get the wheels turning, and then you can go in and pass it on for someone else, and you can, get more information yourself, and that too may inspire you to do something else as well. So the second question I want to ask you guys is, what have you learned that you can teach someone else? There has to be something that you know, and I'm not talking about necessarily something you learned in school, but what kind of life lessons, or what craft, or what hobby, what skill set do you have? What have you learned? What information have you acquired that you can possibly package and share with someone else? Again, that is going to add to your excellence, and that's going to help you on this road to really, making the world a better place. And you know what? It doesn't have to be big, y'all. All of the little pieces. Remember, the sum is greater than its parts. So remember that. When you take a bunch of little pieces, the little piece might not seem like a lot, but the sum total, all of it together, is going to make an impact, and it's going to make a difference. So I do not want you to minimize what you can bring to the table, because right now it may not seem like it's a lot. Just start with what you have. Now, the last and final person that I want to speak of today is Macon Bowling Allen. Okay. He was born August 4th, 1816, and passed on June 11th, 1894. He's believed to be both the first African-American licensed to practice law and to hold a judicial position in the United States. Allen passed the bar exam in Maine in 1844 and became a Massachusetts Justice of the Peace in 1848. He moved to South Carolina after the American Civil War to practice law and was elected as a probate court judge in 1874. Following the Reconstruction era, he moved to Washington, D.C., where he worked as an attorney for the Land and Improvement Association. Wow. Okay, so the funny thing is, geographically, I'm not very, how can I say it? Geography was never really my hot spot. I wasn't really in tune into geography like that. Probably I should have been a lot more, to be honest with you. But when I think of Maine, I really didn't know of a lot of African Americans even being in Maine. So just that part alone was very interesting to me, because it would have never crossed my mind, that a person of color would actually be in Maine. I don't know what the climate was like, or what the what the population was like there. So that's something I'm actually going to read up about and find out more information on, because that personally intrigued me. And like I said, guys, whatever intrigues you, go to Extra Step and look for more information on it. So we're going to wrap up real quick, guys. These are only about 10 minutes a day. What can you bring to the world in your own unique way? How can you take your authentic purpose and put it out in the world? If you don't know what your authentic purpose is, that's totally fine. But what is that thing about you that nobody else has that you can share with somebody? Think about that. Again, y'all, it's not always the big thing, but who you are matters, and that's a big thing. Remember that. I'm wired to inspire. I hope you are too.
It's the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast giveaway. Stay tuned for instructions.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for the February contest instructions for the I'm Wired to Inspire contest giveaway. Now, this particular contest is specifically for Instagram. I will be making a post and it will be speaking of this contest, and then you're going to repost it and tag 3 friends that inspire you for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. 2 winners will be chosen. You must be following at robinicolek, that's one word, one N, and I'm Wired to Inspire for your entry to be valid. We must be tagged in your photo for us to see it. Good luck.
Thanks for listening to I'm Wired to Inspire podcast at I'mWiredToInspire.com. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word and be sure to hit the 5-star rating on iTunes. For more information on this podcast and inspirational products and services, log on to the inspirationspecialist.life or I'mWiredToInspire.com. And remember to live your authentic purpose. Thanks again, and see you next time.